Hello and welcome to the channel and welcome to the video. If you're new here, I want to say thanks for checking it out and thanks for stopping by, seeing what we're all about. Today we're going to continue our every animal run where, as you can guess, we're going to try to get every animal in Farming Simulator before we end the run. And we're going to try to get the biggest pin for each animal and see if we can get a farm that sustains that. Today though is harvest day for our cotton. If you look over in the fields, we are ready to harvest. We had some rain this morning, so we had to fast forward a little bit, but sunny skies now and ready to harvest. Taking a look at the field, we've got perfect pH levels, perfect nitrogen levels. Expected yield is 98%. Obviously we're missing that 2% because we didn't roll. I explained why in the last video if you're curious. You can check that out. But yeah, we are ready to harvest this field, and it's a big field. As you can see in the top right hand corner, I did take out a loan since the last episode, and a rather large one. And the reason being is because I think we're going to lease 2 harvesters to finish the harvest today and get the production facilities for cotton as well to turn it into fabric and then turn that fabric into clothing. So without further ado, let's get our cotton harvesters and get this show on the road. So like I mentioned, we're not going to lease this one. When we do buy, this is the one we're going to want to buy, but it costs $43,000 to lease it, and this one costs $24,000. So we can get 2 for almost the price of 1. And while we're leasing, I think that's going to be what's best for us right now. So it hurts, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna lease. So that's $50,000 just in leasing cost right here. But a big reason I am doing 2 instead of 1 is because this way we can hopefully get this done before the hourly leasing cost hits us again. Because I think that would be another $10,000 or so. So at that point, you're really not spending that much more to get a second harvester. So I think we're gonna see if we can get this done in less than an hour. Don't have super high hopes, but we're gonna do our best. So we'll get this guy started right away. Get this guy on the other side. And then we'll just keep an eye on these guys as they're going through the fields. Make sure they don't try to do anything silly, because AI workers do tend to do that sometimes. I did chop down the trees on the edge of the field, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But you never know with these guys. Yeah, this is a big field. You can really see how big it is when it's all full of grown crops. Let's see. We've got some rows that are sticking out this way. So let's make sure we're over quite a ways, and hopefully that'll catch it all. And here we go. The nice thing about these two, when you're just leasing, another big reason why I would lease this one over the John Deere is because these ones you can empty before the bale is complete, whereas a John Deere you have to have a complete bale before you can empty it. So if you don't own it and you release or you return it, then you lose that crop, obviously, that was in the harvester. So it just makes sense to lease these this year, maybe for the next few years, to be honest, until we can afford to buy one. But I think this will work good for us. Let's take a peek at this other guy, make sure he's getting the ends and everything. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so 7%. So he might be able to get quite a ways before he unloads it. I wonder how many bales we'll get off of this. Probably only like 3 or 4, I would guess. Probably 4. Hopefully, that'd be nice. While they're doing this, let's go ahead and get our production facilities set up, because we know that's where we're going to want to put the cotton. We don't need to store it anywhere or anything like that. We're just going to put it straight into production facilities. So like we talked about, we'll put them over in this spot, I think. We'll get over here and see if we like the looks of that. Let me get the tractor and move that stuff out of the way. I might be leasing a stump grinder in the near future. Get these stumps out of the way. I think we only cut down like 3 trees though so far, so it's not too bad. Alright, let's drop that off, hop out. Hopefully that's not in the way of the cotton harvester when he goes to turn around. Just speaking of which, I want to make sure. Okay, he's trying to back up all the way. That's an interesting choice. Glad we caught him before we did that. Let's see if we get him started over here, if he'll be able to keep it going in a way that makes sense. I tell you, good help's hard to find these days. Alright, you gonna be happy with that? Alright. Back to this. Alright, let's see. Now I want to build these with room for multiple. If we end up deciding we want 2 or 3 tailor shops or 2 or 3 spinneries, I want them to be where they can be placed beside each other. Now, are there 2 different spinneries? Let's see. There are. Okay, so this one, it's a little big, but definitely enough room for it. Let's look at the other one. It's a tailor shop. Here's a spinnery. Oh, I feel like this one's a little more compact. So the output doesn't really matter because we're going to have it shipped straight to the tailor shop. So I think it doesn't really matter which way it's pointing, but we're going to want to put our cotton over there anyways, so having it pointed this way should work good. How far back can we push this? I kind of want to push it back, but then like still have room to line up a couple more. I think we could put 2 side by side right here. I think we're going to start with that. I'm happy with that. Alright, now let's check out the tailor shop. Pretty sure there's only one tailor shop. Let's see. So there's... Where is your outputs? That's what I care about on this one, right there. Okay, so we want this to be easy to drive by and pick up with an auto load. Which means maybe I want this one up here, and then if we get multiple, we can kind of just line them up here, and we can put all our spinneries over here. I think that's what we'll do. Let's try to make this parallel with the field as much as possible. Like that. Then we shouldn't need to get behind it, so we should be able to come right up to here, I would think. Let's do it. Let's see, do we need to fix the ground, or is it pretty good? Little slope there, we might do a little softening. Briar Rose Spinnery. Very nice. Awesome, this is exciting. We got our first 2 production facilities. Needle and Stitch. It's like a knockoff of Lilo and Stitch, but I'm here for it. Very nice. We can look at our productions now. We can go ahead and turn on cotton. We don't need to turn on wool, obviously, because we don't have any, but and we can go ahead and turn on clothes. So let's see, it takes 5 cotton, turns it into 3 fabric, then 2 fabric into 1 clothing. Alright. I'm not going to do the math right now, but we'll see if this gets through all of the cotton that we harvest this year, or if we'll need to up it to get through all the cotton we harvest in a single year. But I'm happy with this. Let's go into the construction, do some landscaping like we talked about. I like the soften tool. seems to be the most effective at just smoothing things out, or softening it, I guess you could say, without spending a ton of money. So I like that. Yeah, that looks good. Let's check this one out. Eventually, when we figure out how many production facilities we want over here and all that, we'll probably just grab some gravel and gravel this area in a way that makes sense, but I think that'll work for now. Oh, you know what? One thing I did want to do is make sure that this is set to not storing. We want it to be distributing, so that it'll distribute to the tailor shop. And then over here, I guess I could have done it from there, but that's okay. We want this one to be, yes, storing, so that it'll spit it out right here for us. We can pick them up, take them when we're ready. Perfect. Let's check in on these guys. You're doing well. Looks like you're not missing anything. And you're doing good. Doesn't look like you tried to back up all the way or anything, which is really nice. Well, I think at this point we'll just sit back and relax and enjoy the harvest. It's happening. It's happening. Our first cotton bale. Oh, look at it. It's so beautiful. It's huge. 20,000 liters of cotton. Let's go. Alright, well, let's get our tractor and get that picked up. Get it put into our spinnery. Let's start making some money. Make all of our hard work pay off. And boy, am I glad we got 2 harvesters. This has already felt like it is taking forever. They do not go fast and they are not wide. But with 2, it's really not that bad. It hasn't been that long. But man, I would not want to do it with less than 2. That's for sure. Alright, let's get this picked up. See how this trailer works. See if I can back it up at all. Don't have high hopes for that, but we'll see. Oh, what am I talking about? Well, maybe. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and easy. Put that into transport position. Looks like obviously we can only hold 1 at a time. Kind of expected. Actually, we knew that. We saw that in the store. But it did say it can hold 2 of the big bales, which is interesting to me. Of the round bales. Not sure how it does that, but I'll believe them. Alright, let's unload here. I'm not sure how much this spinnery can actually hold. Okay, took all of that. Somehow it's 20,049 liters. Not sure how that happened, but... Okay, and that's not even quite half. So... maybe 50,000 would be my guess. And if that's the case, we should get at least 1, obviously. 1 more bale. I think we're going to get a 3rd, so it won't be able to hold it all to start with, but we should be able just to put it over that trigger point and should just take it as it needs it throughout the year. So we'll see if we have any left over at the end of the year. Yeah, I figured this guy dropped a bale as well. Go pick that up. He also missed a row. Not sure why he did that, but we'll get back. We'll get back to that and clean it up. Oh, sorry. Don't mind me. Nice. Okay. Yep. See, this is what I expected. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Let's put it in the transport or operating position. Will you grab it? Will you grab it? Okay. Let's try this again. I was trying to stay in the crops that were already harvested, but not working out for me. There we go. This will work. There we go. I knew we could do it. I'm actually probably going to take one of these harvesters and take them over to that section over there and get that started. I'll probably do a headland around it so that the AI workers have more room to turn around. Actually, I might just drive it. We'll see. But let's get this back into the spinnery as well. Let's start making some money. I believe we are about... well, let's see. We'll just look. Yeah, we are $350,000 in debt. That's what we've used so far just to get things set up. So hopefully we make a good chunk of change. I think we will. Alright, so there won't be any more in the field right now. That one's at 13%. That one's at 20%. I think I'll let this guy keep going straight. I'll let this guy get to the end of the row, and then I'll clean that up, head over there, and get that all harvested. But I think you've seen enough of this harvest. This is going to take a few more minutes, so I'll just get this finished and get back with you once that's done. Alright, we've got 2 more bales to pick up out of the field. surprisingly. I was not expecting to get 2 full bales more off of this field. So we've gotten 4 full bales, plus we'll get 2 partial bales, which is really awesome. Again, I'm not sure if that's going to be more than a year's worth. We'll keep an eye on it next month, see how much of it the spinnery goes through, see how much of it it'll get through for the year, and see if we need to get a second one or not. But yeah, I was definitely surprised to see 2 more full bales, but not in a bad way. Anyways, I'll get these dropped off and be right back. Alright, coming up on the last stretch here. Looks kind of cool with the 2 harvesters right beside each other. As you can see, we are going to have 2 partial bales. I thought about stopping one of the harvesters and just having 1 partial bale, but the reason I decided to go ahead and let them both get partial bales is because if you look at the bottom right, you can see that we have had these leased for 0.8 hours, which means they're coming really close to that hour mark where they'll charge us that leasing cost again, which I believe is about $10,000 per harvester, maybe $5,000 per harvester, I can't remember, something like that, and I did not want that to happen, so I decided we'll just have 2 partial bales. We'll stack them up over there, and it'll go into the spinnery the same either way. So that's the plan for now. I think it worked out. 0.8 hours, like I said. Barely got it done in time. Glad we did 2 harvesters. I think we might have been charged 2-hour fees if we had only done one harvester. So I think we made a good choice in that. Anyways, I'll get these dumped off, put into the spinnery, and then I will catch you next month where we'll see how much the spinnery used in a month's time. Alright, so I went ahead and fast forwarded a couple months. The reason I did 2 months is because we were already halfway through the first day, so I wanted to see how much we used in a full month, and it looks like we used right around 3,000 liters of cotton a month. And we have currently 84,000 liters remaining. So we have 84,000 liters, and we have how many months left until we harvest again? Well, it's December, so we did harvest in October, so we have 10 months left. Divided by 10, it's 8.4, which means we need at least 2 spinneries and part of 3 spinneries to get through all of the cotton that we produce in 1 year. So the question is, do we want to go ahead and purchase one? Well, speaking of which, I wonder if we have any clothing since we fast forwarded 2. Ooh, we do. We have our first box of clothing. Look at that. That's awesome. That's $18,000 sitting right there. That's exciting. I think we want to buy a second spinnery. We've got the cotton to do it. I think we should at least do a second one. And then we can decide if we want to do a third one. I mean, eventually we'll have to because we'll just keep getting backed up. Or we could just sell the extra cotton straight up, which I guess that is a possibility. But I do think we need to go ahead and purchase one more, which means we need more money. Luckily, the spinnery is only 60,000. So if we just take a little bit more, we can get the second spinnery. I think we're going to do the same one because I think it's a little more compact and will fit nicely beside each other. I hope. Let's see if it fits beside each other. Ah, of course, need to move the tractor. I did get the harvester's return just in time to not be charged that extra leasing cost, which is very nice. Alright, let's see. Productions, factories, spinnery. Is it that stump? I think it's that stump. gotta be. Okay, looks like we're gonna lease a stump grinder. One moment. Alright, took care of the stump problem, and yes, that was our issue. Now we're able to sneak this guy right in here. I'm gonna try to line him up with the other building as best as I can. We have just enough money too. We're gonna have to take out a little bit of a loan because we're gonna need a trailer in order to transport all of our clothing. But I think that's the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna get this cotton moved over here, get this processing, get our clothing picked up, and fast forward till we can sell these clothes. Actually, we will have to plant before that, but we just did that in the last video as well, so I think we'll go ahead and take care of the planting and meet you back when we're ready to sell some clothes. See if we make money this year. Alright, we are finishing up the last pass on seeding, planting, whatever you want to call it, and we filled up right before we started. We filled up with seed and almost filled up with fertilizer. And look how close we are to the end before we had to fill up again. So close. So close. Okay, I bought another thing of fertilizer, but I didn't touch the seed. I want to see if we have just enough to finish this field with one tank. Oh my word, I can't believe that. I think we're going to have enough. Wow, 57 liters, 1% left. That's awesome. One tank of seed, and if I had topped off the fertilizer, we would have been fine too, because I didn't fill that all the way up before I started. So that's good to know. One tank full of each will fill or finish this whole field. That's really nice. Alright, I'm gonna park this over here, and then I think we're ready to go ahead and fast forward. Well, actually there is one thing we need to do first. We need to buy a trailer so that we can move the clothing out of its spawn location before that gets filled up. So this will be the last money we have to borrow before we sell clothes. And we'll see if we get enough to pay off our loan. We've gotten pretty deep into debt now. We're up to, well, we'll see if 28,000 is enough. Let's see. If it is, then we're up to $400,000 in loan, which is not a small number, but hopefully we can make it up fast. Let's see. Does this one do flat? Nope. That one doesn't either. What's a good flatbed? Here's our one, so we need 39,000. Okay, we need a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now let's go to 425. $425,000 of debt is what we're looking at. We'll see if we get enough money to pay some of that back. Where did my trailer go? Did I go right past it? I did. Alright. We'll do Michelin. Let's do black. Alright, let's buy this. $40,000. Hopefully we make enough money. Okay. It's a pretty good sized trailer. We should be able to fit plenty of clothing on it. probably everything we make in a year. Here's our nicely planted field. Different texture than last time because we didn't plow before, but that's understandable. Right, we got our first 3,000 liters. We'll go ahead and fast forward and get the rest of it. Get to selling time. See how much money we make. Alright, it is April. Clothes are at a good price. So I think it's time that we get these loaded up and go see how much money we make. The only place you sell clothing is at the grocery mart. As you can see, we didn't plow this time, so there is weeds. So we will have to buy a sprayer this year. That should be fine. Let's go ahead and go up to the grocery store, which luckily is not very far. Not a very far drive at all. Alright. Let's go ahead and unfasten these belts. Oh, a little premature. Whoa. 54,000 plus 5, 59,000 plus 63, 39,000. Okay. I think we're gonna be okay. So that was obviously only for like 5 months of processing the cotton. So next year we'll have more than double that, which means we should be getting over 200,000 a year. Now, one thing I want to look at when we get back to our farm is how much fabric we have. Do we need to get a second tailor shop, which would then double our output as well of clothing, which means we could potentially be getting 400,000 a year? But let's go see how much fabric we have and see if we can afford a second tailor shop, because it would be worth it, even if we had to go into a little more debt just to get the sprayer and everything. Okay, so we are using the cotton, which we know we'll have enough for the whole year. So the fabric is getting backed up. Clothing is not able to be processed fast enough to get rid of all of the fabric. So I think we should go ahead and buy one more tailor shop. I know it's going to take all of the money we just earned, but I think in the long run it's going to be worth it. And we've got a long ways to go in this playthrough. I think we need to start looking for things that'll pay off in the long run. Even if it takes us a little longer to get some money at the beginning, I think it's going to be worth it. So let's just go ahead and grab another tailor shop. We want it to be lined up this way so we can drive right along the side and pick up both of them. Pick up from both buildings, I mean. Like that right there. Very good. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and turn this production facility on as well. Storing is fine. We've got both of these distributing, which is great. So next year we should be getting 4 times what we just got. So 400,000. Whoa, hello deer. That deer just went through the wall. Anyways, 400,000 a year. I think that should be good. Next episode, we'll figure out a sprayer. Probably means a little more debt, but I think we can get our way out of it. We know we're getting a lot of money. We know we've got just about every... Actually, once we buy the sprayer, we'll have everything we need for this cotton process, besides leasing the harvesters. But 50,000, that's just something we know we'll have to take into account every year. But I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Anyways, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around for the next one. And I have decided that I'm going to be posting every 3 days. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.